Much to do about nothing. Once again, the national media and ESPN hype machine stoke up another fake story, a non-football issue leading to this week's big Super Bowl at the Meadowlands, where the Denver Broncos will take on the Seattle Seahawks. This time the subject, kitten mode. They're all over Marshawn Lynch, the media, because they feel that they're entitled to talk to this guy for at least 7 minutes. Otherwise, he would have gotten a $50,000 fine by the league if he didn't show up to media day. He didn't want to show up. It was clear that he was uncomfortable, and there's no reason why, if this guy is a shy person, unlike Richard Sherman, who's very outspoken and likes to talk to the media and will someday be in the media, why can't Marshawn Lynch just go to work, have his nose to the grindstone, put out a great product for the fans, and then go home? Now, I understand these guys are paid a lot of money, but there's a different level that the quarterback, for instance, and a different level of responsibility as it pertains to being the face of the franchise, just like the head coach. Mondays and Wednesdays, the week of a football season, during the week, the coach and quarterback are required to talk, and the press could really request anybody they want. I'm not sure what the rules are, but why should everybody have to talk? These guys are professional athletes and they have a job to do. They're not media spokespeople. It may be written in the fine parts of their contract in the small print, but give me a break. If the guy doesn't want to talk, don't make him talk. The guy is one of those humble people. He may be a beast on the football field, but he's humble and he doesn't need to stick his nose out there into every camera that someone wants to put in his face. Now, also, another Seahawk that's been treated wrongly was Richard Sherman for the opposite. He's coming off the football field. He's all pumped up. He tried to shake a guy's hand last week. The guy blew him off, and he had a little bit of emotion. It goes without saying that Richard Sherman has a hell of a head on his shoulders and a hell of a future beyond football. I recommend to anybody that they watch Chris Hayes' interview on MSNBC that occurred earlier this week. It's called The Real Richard Sherman. If you don't know this guy, if you're just a casual sports fan and you're not familiar, you're going to see why a lot of people have their foot in their mouth when they reacted to the emotion that he expressed after the NFC Championship game. But I digress. Richard Sherman did an interview today where he basically defended his teammate Marshawn Lynch and said that he really doesn't think that he should have to give interviews if he doesn't want to, although he respects the rule in the NFL. Until the rules are changed, they got to do what they got to do. But on Sunday, you're going to see, I believe, Beast Mode with a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder. He's going to make some noise, and they're going to be wanting to interview him after the game to be sure, because I think that in the Meadowlands, the superior rushing game of the Seahawks is going to be part of the difference, because the Seattle Seahawks defense is going to slow down that Broncos offense. The Meadowlands is famous for having swirling winds. Not as bad as they were at Giant Stadium, at MetLife Stadium, but still, it doesn't matter how warm the temperatures get. I've watched year after year after year Eli Manning, his brother, Peyton, come down, beat the Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field, but lose the game in the Meadowlands because Donovan McNabb's arm, even stronger than Russell Wilson's, but Russell Wilson can do it, that he had a ball that could cut through that wind. Eli's ball would just flutter in those games. There was a playoff game that the Giants hosted against the Eagles. They won the division. The Giants were the better team, but Eli couldn't throw the ball around in the playoffs. Both times the Giants went to the Super Bowl, they won all their playoff games on the road. Giant Stadium is not conducive to the Manning brothers. I know they're not the same guy, but they have similar physical attributes when it comes to their throwing arm. And I think it's going to come down to defense and running, and that favors the Seahawks. So there you have it. Richard Sherman defends his buddy Marshawn Lynch, who in my opinion shouldn't have to, nor should any player who doesn't want to, talk to the media. Who do we think we are, the media, that they have to be at our beck and call? It's enough that you're putting your neck on the line. You're going to get multiple concussions as a running back in the NFL. You're going to be walking around crippled for an average of 3 to 4 year career, running backs being the position that brings that average down. and getting beat up for a lot less money than quarterbacks. Seahawks will win the Super Bowl next year. It'll obviously be the Philadelphia Eagles.